Hello Internet! I'm HamsterBomb, and we're just gonna talk. We're gonna do another one of the Here For You videos, and this time, I have to do basically a part 2 of all the comments we got in our previous video. I literally had to split it in half. How I'm gonna do the next one, I'm not entirely sure, because there may be so many comments split between this video and the last one that it might just be insane, and I feel bad that I can't get to everybody from here on out, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm at least going to try and talk to everybody. So if I can't talk to everybody, that can't all be on me. Really, guys, go down in the comments, read people's stories, just talk to them. Let them know that they are being heard, they are being listened to. Even if it's something very subtle, something very small like, hey, I'm sorry what you're going through, or I can relate to this, and then tell them something about yourself. Just, this is an anonymous place where people are really just there to help each other and care about each other. So, just check out the comments, and we're going to go through, obviously, the second half that I got right here, and hopefully we're going to have some sort of positive responses here. I hope, because we'll try. You guys seem to really like doing these, so I hope we can get some positive changes in here. So I've actually got to hit a read more on our first one here, which is coming from Titus, who was the very last one I just didn't get to here, so I'm sorry. You were probably looking like, no! But we are going to get the rest of these comments. So anyway, Titus writes in and says, my mom was recently diagnosed with MS. If you don't know what that is, then it's an autoimmune disease that attacks and destroys the protective coating on the nerves. It leaves the person completely crippled after a while. It won't be long until my mom is in a wheelchair. We probably have to move because our house has too many stairs. I'm 17 years old. I'm terrified to leave the house in fear that she'd fall. She fell backwards down the stairs once when her legs gave out. Oh my, yikes. That's not supposed to happen when you're only 50-something. Nope, no. It's terrifying to watch. I can't take it. I have to watch her sit there when her legs spasm and cramp until she's in tears. And she was a farm kid. She's tough. She doesn't cry. And I can't do anything. I can't help her. I feel like I'm failing as a son because of it. MS is only found in less than 200,000 people in the United States. Why did my mom, the most incredible person in my life, have to be one of them? That is awful. But to try and answer your question, odds don't really work like that, where you're thinking like, the odds were so low that my mom would have this. Well, it's more like, what are the odds that someone would have this? And that would be, you know, 20,000 over the population of America. And in which case, it's not that scarce. I mean, it's terrible, but it's not like there's some, you know, divine bolt of lightning trying to mess and like ruin your mother's life and everyone around her. If there is some sort of point or message to that, then maybe there's some sort of strengthening story for you through this. That maybe somewhere down the line, because you have this experience, you can help other people, or you can do something you otherwise would never have been able to do. And you're not going to be able to see that until then. And until then, it's going to feel like your mom was that one person. Why did it have to be her? That's awful. That would, yeah. I mean, my parents both have, like, of course, like, some degenerative stuff over time. I mean, they're 50-something as well. But not that bad. Not that bad at all. I mean, not even close. And that's terrible. I mean, that's... I mean, eventually, I mean, if you're losing your autoimmune, the coating in the nerves, I mean, that's just... Not only would you be in the wheelchair, you're not going to be able to control your bowels. You're not going to be able to control your organs eventually. I'm pretty sure if I'm taking the same... I don't know too much about MS, but based on... nerve damage and autoimmune diseases, that it would eventually go in that direction, and that's the absolute worst, because I don't know what the conclusion of that is. You know, there's no good way to end that, and that's probably why it hurts so much. You know, like, it's horrible to say, but sometimes when you see a loved one go through something like that, you just wish, like, I wish if they were gonna go, why couldn't it have been something like, just something like a car accident? Just let me grieve now. You know, stop making me go through this. And Obviously, that's a horrible thing to say, but you know, there's so much pain that's to be caused just from the unknown and the waiting. And all you can do is, I know what you're saying you have trouble doing, is be strong, be there to help her, you know? And she doesn't want to see you upset for her. Imagine yourself in that place, you know? So that's probably the best way to solve this situation. You know, your mom's still here, you know? And maybe in 10 years, that's not going to be true. So just take full advantage of that. Think of yourself in 10 years, looking back and thinking, I only made it worse for her because I just didn't have the strength to help. So try and summon what you can now, and I think that's going to be best for the both of you in the end. So I still can't fully relate to it. I want to say, unfortunately, I can't relate fully to tell you that, but that's fortunate that I haven't gone through something like that. But at the very, I really hope that more people get to talk to you, and you have. I'm glad there's still replies going down through here, because now we're in the lower section of these comments from the last episode. Well, comments of 2 videos back, but I digress. Lucario 1442 Blood says, in my YouTube video recommendations for this, the up next is Rick Ashley, Never Gonna Give You Up, and I'm recommended season 1 episode 11 of Cory in the House. I just thought that was interesting. What? Why? Wait. Yeah, apparently I saw that. YouTube is broken. Yes, yes it is. There's seriously, there's some serious problems with the people who build this site. Like, no. There's some serious problems going on here, but no. This isn't a joke. I don't know why they would put stuff like that showing up next, but... Anyway, Anthony writes in, yeah, Alex, I was 13 at the time, and it was pretty hard, but like I said, you really helped me, man. I can't thank you enough for that. So, Anthony, you must have been in the very first or second video. I'm glad that, yeah, something, somehow in my videos have helped you. And most people end up saying that and saying that that's what helped so much. And I think, like, I mentioned this last time, like, what are you talking about? What have I done? Like, I really want to know so I can keep doing that thing. You know, like, I want to be the best friend, next door neighbor role model character in these people's lives who they can just go sit down next to and play games with and have fun with. And forget about all the crap going on next door at home. But I'm glad that worked out, Anthony. Pro Lucario 3 says, when I was a kid, my dad was abusing me and my family. He would cheat on my mom and take all the money from the house and buy beer and fags, and he did not get them. And if he did not get them, he would hit us all one at a time. He left us in a rain to walking home. He sexually abused my stepsister, who we did not know about, and he killed most of the cats we had. Now he does not live with us, but when I hear his voice, I shut down, get really angry for no reason. That's not for no reason. That is not for... Double negative. That is for a reason. Because, good lord. I'm glad that he is out of your life now. People like that, I mentioned, there was somebody like this in the last video I was talking about. They need to go. If they're just negative influence on you, they gotta go. And other people, too. So many people. That... From the list of that stuff, if you have proof of all of that, he might get arrested. Like, that's pretty bad. It depends on, like, ages and actual cases and specifics, of course. Like, you know, that little paragraph is not enough to take somebody to court for, but, still, that's awful. That is awful. I'm glad there's people who were talking to you about that. I really hope that, well, I was about to say, I hope people can relate, but at the same time, I hope they can relate to help you get over these things and talk them through, because it sounds like your real point here was, when you hear his voice, you shut down and get angry. And it wasn't about the other things. You're mainly talking about that. And that's something that's affecting you now. I hope you can get past that. That's what you need to focus on. Because right now, he's gone, right? Gone. Just sever those ties. Just be gone. Somebody like that, you don't want that in your life. Gabriel, I can do this. Castrajon? Castrajon? Goodness. No. Jay makes the... Well, the G sound. Never mind. But this is actually, it's a fleece blanket from Pokemon Center. I wanted this so much. It was actually a Christmas gift from my parents. I picked it out. They thought it was ridiculous that I still want stuff like this. Got it last year at Christmas, and I was like, I want it so much. And then when we got to the new house, I was like, you know, I want to hang something. I want to get some sort of background here, because otherwise you're just looking at my closet. And I was like, oh, get the Pokemon fleece blanket, because it's like too nice. I don't want to use it. I mean, the winter comes, maybe I will. But I was like, I don't really want to use it because it's too nice. I don't want to send it through, like, you know, the wash because I got it all nasty. So instead I'm hanging it up, and everyone loves it. I love it. It's awesome because I see these shapes and they just make me smile. That was my second video game I ever played. My first was Super Mario Bros. Deluxe Game Boy. Here we go. So, Umbreon Boy says, it seems the worst is over with the family issue that has been going on for nearly a year. The short version is that my dad was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, but thanks to his younger brother and a stem cell transplant, he is doing so much better after 3 weeks and was released from the hospital on Friday. Woo! He should be back in time for Thanksgiving. Yeah! Well, by the time that, I'm reading this, we're recording this, Thanksgiving was already a while ago. Have a Thanksgiving? Good Thanksgiving. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. If your dad was there, that's awesome. I hope so. Most of the family should be together. I had a grandparent pass away on Valentine's Day in 93, I think it was. I shared my birthday with them, which was really cool, and we would go to visit them since my birthday was at the end of the school year. That was kind of slapped on at the end, like a little depressing thing. Well, that was 93. That's a long time ago. So you might even be, you're probably older than I am then. I was born in 92. So that's how old I am, but at the very least, like, I mean, that's... Depending on your age of, like, how young you were at that point, hopefully that you don't still grieve, like, that much. I mean, nobody, if you can imagine them from beyond the grave, nobody wants to look back and look at everybody upset, you know? I wouldn't. Like, if something tragic happened to me and all you guys knew about her, the news got to you somehow, I would imagine, you know, Kim's got access to my account, like, someone would tell you, like, something horrible's happened to Hamster, they wouldn't say Hamster, Alex, and, he can't make, obviously he's gone, he can't make videos, I'm sorry, but I just thought we should let you know, so the channel just doesn't fizzle and everyone's confused, like, thousands of people will be confused. I always wonder what's gonna happen when generations of people who live and die on the internet are now permanently recorded here, but, like, I wouldn't want you guys to all be upset. At the very least, I would want you to remember all the good stuff and all the fun we got to have, which is fortunately kind of immortalized with what I got to do. So I don't know, I'm trying to be more positive about it all. Hope that doesn't sound, I don't know. Everything I say in this series seems like it could be really offensive, or I'm just trying to help you. Yeah, same thing. Gamers Anonymous says, my friends used to ask me, why did I like so much of small channels like yours? And I would say, watch a video and you will understand. Oh, that's a scary thought. Oh, any random video of mine is gonna be pulled up with that kind of hype behind it. You're scaring me, gamers. And I was addicted. Remember me from the Moltres live when you finally found the Moltres? Felt like I found it. Also, Shiny Hunter. When you found Zapdos, the same feeling. Man, why can't we find shinies this year? Speaking of, like, that's sub-tangent thing, but come on, type Null and Kyogre. I've been searching for these stinks all freaking year, and nothing. Whatever. I remember talking to you about the bonus pre-order miniature that came with Soul Silver Heart Gold, and you passed through the same thing in the Mario Sunshine Live, and remember when I taught you that the walls who have some kind of symbol in Shovel Knight were secret walls? Well, in honestly, like, to be fair, I talked to so many people on here that I never remember who says what. Like, rarely do I remember that. So, as you remind me, I remember all those instances. Yes, and I remember talking to like 100 people in all of those instances. At least 100. I mean, when the shinies showed up, you're talking like 200 people at the same time. Like, the chat was going so fast, I couldn't even pay attention to it anymore, which makes me feel bad. I'm like, I can't acknowledge everybody, but it's not possible. But yeah, the figure, someone actually did eventually send me a Ho-Oh. He's up there, I can't reach him, but I was so happy. I was like, yeah, it's my pre-order Ho-Oh figure. I finally have it, because that's my favorite game ever, Pokemon Heart Gold. Anyway, well, in 2016, I had no friends, and you were my only friend. I have a lot of friends now. Great, because they started to like things that I like and stopped joking me. But even if you never talked face-to-face with me, I kinda am. It just takes a really long time for you to receive this, and for me to get your message back. Granted, think like 200 years ago. Kind of took longer than this. So, whatever. I have a lot of friends now, but go, okay, I read that. Facebook was the same thing as you answered me and talked normally to me. Thank you, Alex. Gamers, I'm glad. Because I really am trying to talk to you guys. And if I had actual names, like, this is what really bothered me. Like, when I was, like, 1,000 and under subscribers. I really wish that these were just names. But at the same time, the Google Plus takeover was a thing, and it was a disgusting thing, and it was horrible, and I changed my mind. But also, there's an anonymity, if that's a word, to talking like this that I'm glad exists. The Blazing Gamer says, before I really sit down and view the entire video from the first 2 minutes of the video, I already know what it's going to be about. Honestly, Alex, you're more of a friend. And I speak for a lot of other people when I say this to me than just another YouTuber. I watch other YouTubers for the prime reason that I want to be entertained or research something. Yeah, I see that a lot. And some people will actually leave comments on my videos, like, in a snooty, like, well, it's your job to be entertaining me. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. Do you say that to your neighbor, like, or your nephew when they come over, or you go to their house to, like, play video games with them, and you're like, it's your job to entertain me? I'm like, screw off, dude. No, it isn't. And I am just trying to fulfill that third, completely unpaid attention to section of what YouTube should be, where people actually care about each other. Or to research something. Honestly, that's what I mostly use YouTube for. Like, when I want to learn about stuff. But I watch this channel for you. That's the reason to subscribe for somebody. And I'm not saying that like a big... Okay, seriously, thank you. That's so nice. I'm glad that you got to that point. But that is why you subscribe to somebody. That's why I hate the idea of the PokeTuber. Because people don't subscribe to them for the person. They subscribe to them for Pokemon. Or same thing for Minecraft or... I don't know, Battlegrounds or PUBG. Insert any game here. That's why they watch them, and it's not the person. That's the worst reason to follow somebody. Because then what if that person grows out of that or wants to do something else? You've built a blockade between them. It's like if you're friends with someone in high school just because you liked watching Lost when it was coming out. And now that it's over, or you just don't spend time with them at all. Like, no. I mean, sure, those things can bring you together. That's how most of this happens. Like, people always say, like, oh, I was watching Metal Gear. I liked Metal Gear. I like, you know, I like Monster Hunter or Pokemon or whatever. And that's why I'm here. That's why I know you now. That should just be your first step in to a larger pool of things. So you have such a nice personality and you're so genuine and kind that I can't help but smile when I see you stream or a new video comes out. Now, I'll admit, I haven't been that active lately doing a lot of real-life stuff, but I would never truly abandon this channel no matter what. I will remain here till the end, until YouTube unsubscribes you because it doesn't want you to be subscribed to anybody. Yeah, YouTube's unsubscribing people all the time. Check your settings if you're still subscribed to me. Seriously, I'm dead serious. People are getting unsubscribed all the time. Thanks for everything you do for us. Now, thank you, Blazing Gamer. That's so nice. I'm really glad that that it's working. What I was hoping for is actually working. If one person appreciates it, it was worth it for everybody. I'm also not doing this to fish for comments or compliments. We're getting a lot of them in this part, so I'm not. It's not my fault. I wasn't trying to do that. Really. But thank you. That's really nice. Here we go. Electivire Fire. First off, I want to say thank you to anyone who takes the time to read this. Thanking everybody, then. And thank you, Alex, for giving an anonymous platform to openly talk on. Sure, yeah. I'm in a pretty bad place. I've been through a lot recently, especially in September. In September, I started school, which is a nightmare alone. Both of my grandparents on my dad's side passed away. My brother, just this year, my brother was in a facility for being suicidal. Yikes. And the cops had been to my house numerous times from fighting that goes on. Oh. Now I'm flunking 2 of my classes. Cops still show up at my house. My brothers were kicked out of the house for a few nights ago, and from the fighting were taken to a shelter. But I've been, since come back home, I have to deal with my brother bullying me. Oh my gosh, they never learn. Every day he tells me to kill myself and die. Oh my gosh, shame on him. And he tells me I have no friends. Clearly, he's wrong there. And that I'm a social outcast. We all are, though, so whatever. He's been bullying me ever since I was a little, because I have a huge overbite, so that I always called Bucky or Bucktooth Beaver. That's ridiculous. I mean, not everyone can afford orthodontists, so that's ridiculous. In some ways, he's right. I don't have any friends. I don't talk to anyone at school. I never leave the house except to go to school. A lot of that is caused, though, because of the way you grow up and how your household works. It kind of changes what kind of a person you'll grow up to be. So, balls in your court, big brother. I don't know. I fight back with these kind of people all the time, like the brother character, not you. I don't talk to anyone at school. I never leave the house, so I embarrass myself. I have no self-confidence. The only thing that is an escape for me is Pokemon. Video games in general is this an escapism. So Pokemon is just one that you're diving, head over heels into. Is what it sounds like. The only person I know who likes Pokemon is my oldest brother, but he moved out and is in his own family, so I don't play with him often. I'm afraid to talk to anyone, so at school, let alone admit that I like Pokemon. That is shame. Well. Is it possible you can move out with your other brother who's in, like, his own family, you're saying? Or, is he, like, married in his own family? That would make sense. Okay. Because I'm not getting the full story here. I'm just hoping, like, there's got to be a better way to fix this. And my solution is not to move out. But if it's a really damaging family crisis, like that kind of sounds like it is, that's, like, step one. When I'm sick, I want to treat what caused me to get sick, not the symptoms, right? So this is the symptoms. You're talking a lot about the symptoms of it, and I'm looking at the causes, like this family dynamic. That's a lot of it's irreparable, but we'd like to hope. I just feel really unhappy a lot of the time. Counseling and therapy is useless too, as I've been in counseling since I was 4 years old. All I ever want to do is stay in my room and play Pokemon. Well, I see where you feel that, but that's unfortunately not the way to solve the problems. If I didn't have videos like yours, Alex, or Pokemon at all, I don't know what I would do. So thank you, Alex, for doing what you do for us. We are more than grateful than you would ever know. Other than me interjecting through the entire time, and I'm sorry I was doing that, man, I wish I had more to say. Like, yeah. I think I pretty much covered what I wanted to say in there, so, man, I'm sorry. That's just stinks of growing up through that. Nintendo Sony Freak 2011. Oh my goodness, good thing I split these into two, and we're already at 20 minutes, so let's go a little quicker. Dang, Alex, some of these stories straight up broke my heart and demomized my... What? But it's good to see that your fans, aka your awesome, amazing, wonderful community people that have joined your awesome channel, have gone through lots of difficult trials and problems in their life, man. I remember back in 2009, 2010, like this so-called friend I had treated me like second brother to me from 6th grade in middle school all the way up to my senior year of high school. Ended up breaking into my bank account, which was a Bank of America account I had years back in 2012. Stole out of the $1,200 I had saved up because I was going to use that money to go see my dad's side of the family in upstate by... since I live in the southwest coast side of the U.S. in Nevada, and don't have much family out here except my uncle and on my mom's side who live in Mexico 4 times and been very cool to speak Spanish and Portuguese. And luckily I filed a police report on him, and he went to jail for about 3 months. And one of his ex-girlfriend's snack in 2009, when this crap happens, she moved up to Reno, Nevada. So luckily I never saw that hogwash prick again, and that a few others hard, messed up, disgraceful events happened to me like this in 2010 February, after a month after my birthday passed at that time. I got my first smartphone, but some jerk-off dude stole it from me when I was way back on my crappy retail grocery store job. I chased the dude down, almost got but got sidetracked, and he took off. And then I asked for help, but these dudes in this more rundown part of the city, his Rottweiler dog bit off half my finger, but luckily it didn't detach. Oh, but to this day I can't crack the knuckle in it anymore. Oh, okay. Then the last 2 screwed up events, since the part of the state of Nevada place is a pretty popular place, which I won't say, but some people in the comments section that live near California, Arizona, Utah may know where it is. I got hit in a residential street 2 years later in 2012 when I was finishing my senior year in community college, and the bike was riding, got destroyed to shreds, but miraculously and by a miracle I was okay, except for a few scrapes on my hands and a bad cut on my the back of my head and around the neck. But I was thankful that my head, thankful as heck, man, I'm sorry, it's the dyslexia in the typing that's screwing me up, that I lived that stuff that just barely 2.5 years back. I worked this other small time job I guess part-time job. Since I work full-time as a computer engineer, I worked this credit card factory job where I got to make gift cards for some super famous franchises, places like Starbucks, so Walmart, Target, Best Buy, even some video game sports cards, because they're places like GameStop or EG Games. I even made some physical copy of Steam, WoW, Diablo, DLC cards, Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft card games, EA cards, and such. Crap, it sucked butt because after a year of working there, they laid me off because the company moved, I think, to Canada or India or maybe China or overseas. Peace, man, laters. And anyone that's almost as old as me, their mid-late 20s, would love mental and emotional support on how to get over losing a part-time job. Man, so in comparison to the other issues everyone else was talking about, this feels light and simple, and I can deal with these kind of problems. So there was several things in there, like oh man, I've never broken any bones ever, and half losing a finger, oh my gosh, that'd be terrifying. Because I love dogs, but some still are just frightening. People just really need to get those things under control. That really stinks about your phone. But, I mean, what was I going to say about the losing a job? Yeah, if it's really that important to you, because sometimes, based on where you live, you can get another one pretty quickly, but here in Cincinnati, it's super hard to even get anything. I have a master's degree, and I make $13.30 an hour as a full-time job. That's, like, insulting. So, I mean, and I had to work for half a year, more than half a year, to even get that position, which stinks a lot, but all our problems are basically the same problems, I guess, when it really comes down to it. So it's the fact that we can relate to each other that makes this so much better. And the longer the comments are, clearly, as it's coming out, guys, like, I want to be able to read everybody's comment, but at the same time, I don't want it to make it look like I'm favoring some people over the others. So that's why I was reading really fast and not chiming in as much. Hunter says, near the end of September, I finally found someone I really cared about when we had been friends since grade 6, and when I told her how I felt, it didn't go so well. She didn't want to start a relationship over the past few months. I started getting into a really bad state where I hit a point where now I feel like I can't live without her in my life, and I tried so many things and haven't been able to shake the feelings, and now it has reached a point where it has started affecting my mental health and my ability to socialize in general, but thanks to your videos, I've been able to distract myself for a while watching your videos. Wow. Hunter, I've had something like that happen to me too, unfortunately, and I was in a really bad state for a long time because of that, but it's really hard, but eventually you'll just get over that. It's just something that only time really fixes, which stinks. It's like the worst thing, but it really is the only way. Sometimes it's just relating to other people, I think, or just having, if time really is what fixes it. I'm actually looking at my right, seeing a lot of comics and stuff that I was reading at the time and stuff that just helped me, like, get through it, you know, or video games and things like that, so it'll eventually be fine, you know, and really, you'll realize, the only thing that's making this worse is the fact that you keep pulling it up. You know, it's, like, weighing the options of, like, asking someone or not. You'd have either been miserable forever because you didn't ask. At least take comfort in knowing that you tried, you did what you could, and it's just not gonna work. So, I mean, you might as well just try it. It's hard, but try and accept that and just keep going, you know? So, good on you for at least making that first step, though. Thank you so much for your words and kindness. Orb, thank you so much for being here. You know, if it's something even subtle like that, that's perfectly fine. Jack C5290, got a big one. When I was born, I was diagnosed with a heart condition called long QT syndrome. Everyone in my family has it, but for me, I got it the worst. I've had to have more than 10 surgeries because of it. I've had my lung collapse twice because of it. That's scary. I have a pacemaker because of it. And at last, I have heterochromia. I know most people say it's cool to have two different colored eyes, but I hate it. To this day, this part of my story doesn't matter at all, but at the end of this, that's why it all sucks. Just keep reading, you'll understand. 2 months after I started 2nd grade, I was diagnosed with juvenile arthritis. Had to go to a physical therapy for more than a year, and it never really helped. To this day, for the last 3 years, I've had these things called infusions, where I sit down and put an IV in me, draw blood, and then attach the medicine bag to an IV. The medicine slowly trickles in for about an hour. Besides this, there's nothing really special or notable about me. 5 years ago, I started going to this summer camp called Camp Joyful Hearts. It's a camp for people with heart conditions and diseases. Here I met a young guy who some of you may know, Peyton West. He made the news for a touchdown. Normally, a single touchdown isn't that big of a deal, but just look at his legs. He can't walk without leg braces. Where I have to end the story is that earlier in the year, Peyton had a heart transplant. I say that like it wasn't a big deal, but it really was. I'm just terrible at writing stories. Sadly, well, it's a big deal. Heart transplants are a big deal. It's amazing that science can even do stuff like that nowadays, or ever. I found out about this 2 hours before his funeral and couldn't make it. Oh, man. He was the happiest person I ever knew, even though he had so many reasons to be sad. I would argue he shouldn't have been sad. I mean, think of what he still overcame and still did. So, nah, I wouldn't say so. More like you don't see why he didn't have to be sad. That's the end of my story. I know, not so much, but yeah. Fuzzy buttholes for life. Fuzzy buttholes, funny, but... Oh yeah! It was in one of our live streams I said that we should name our community the Fuzzy Buttholes, because nobody will know what it meant. And for a second there, I forgot that we were called the Fuzzy Buttholes. But, whatever. I kind of interjected as I was talking through there, so I really hope that you are also physically improving through all that, because that's a lot to get over physically. A lot of stuff was going down there. I mean, there's nothing really other than actual treatments to help that, but I hope it's improving. Jack, you were above too. Wow, Hamster, not only is the extremely kind of you, but is also extremely humbling. Never thought a gaming YouTuber with less than 20,000 subs could bring tears to my eyes. Hold on. Why? I mean, thank you, but why would you expect people to act differently in that light with over 20,000 subscribers? I mean, I'm almost there, for one. I mean, that doesn't matter. It's not going to change what I'm doing. It shouldn't change what anybody else was doing. It does. They get blinded by money, but whatever, there's that. But thank you, Jack. Toasty McToastface. Hamster, this is why you're my favorite YouTuber. Oh, thank you, Toasty. That's why for the next 10 seconds, you're my favorite subscriber. Pro Lucario 3. Hey, it's all the same people from before. It's weird. Hang in there, guys. Teminade Plays. I have a hate account set up for me. That's the worst. They have been posting on Instagram just like this video for a shout out or unsubscribed from this garbage. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. There's no, well, I mean, you can report those people, and you said it's Instagram. I don't remember who owns Instagram right now, but I know that they do report and go after accounts for things like that. So you are definitely able to get that removed. But it still doesn't stop the fact that it's really, think of it like this. Whenever I get hate on the channel, I gotta think, the haters are like the shouting 1%, and the people who enjoy what you're doing are the silent 99. So just because you have this one person who's just being a total jerk to you, it doesn't change the fact that you have other people out there who do enjoy you. So, I mean, they stand up for yourself with Instagrams, whatever you can use to get them to stop and try. I mean, it's all you can do. And just don't let it bother you. You know, just do your best. Just don't let it bother you. I know it's hard to say, but that's how I got to this point without losing my mind. You don't let them bother you. Amy Calvert says, thank you, Alex. Feel a lot better. Like I said before, you should make a series on this. I hope I can. I mean, it all depends on what you guys want to do. But right now I'm getting so many comments that I don't even know how I can deal with them. I had to make this 2 parts. Since a lot of people have a lot to get off their chest. Hugs. Oh, Jamie, you're the best. Jimmy, I can read. I can do this. Jimmy Hartshorn, 99. God, okay. Thanks, Alex. I've started to realize that the best way to express myself is through dragging my music. It still sucks in my head a little bit, but what you said honestly made me happy that somebody finally listened. At the very least, I can listen. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not the best for actually giving advice to people. I can, but I can listen, and sometimes that's just what people need to hear. or need to have happen. Here is what I need to, you know what I mean. I'm just stuttering over myself, I'm sorry. Aqua Dragon 360, I've gone the death of 3 dogs, 1 cat, grandma, and my great-grandma. My brother had cancer, but is fine today. That's great for your brother, that's awesome. But great-grandparents, take comfort in knowing that very few people even get to know theirs. At one point, I did get to know one of my great-grandparents. She was really nice. Granted, a great-grandparent, that level, they're almost barely there. I lost both of my grandfathers, so I won't be there, unfortunately. I hate cats, so I will never have a cat. Kim has lost several, though. Yeah, we've all lost pets. It's awful. It's awful, but hopefully we can, I mean, like, the way that I can talk about it now and I'm still okay, like, I'm trying to look at the positive side of it, like, losing a great-grandmother, you know, like, you got to know them, you know, that's a good thing, you know, and, your brother's, I'm glad the way you worded the last one, your brother is fine today, that's a good thing. Try and look at stuff like that way. So, we finally hit the end of all this. I don't know how I'm going to structure, our next one. Like I said, I might have to do it in like an Ask Hamster style where actually like comments pop up at the bottom and I'm going to be talking to you guys there. Or I'm going to do like a theme or something like that. Or maybe like, I don't know, but it's probably going to take a lot more work because there's going to be a lot more to go. It's also possible, and I'm considering making it a live stream, but at the same time, to me, that sounds kind of dangerous. Like, I don't know. I don't want to deal with live trolls jumping in while I'm trying to talk to somebody. But at the same time, that's just how live streaming goes. And at this rate, I have random comments anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll try it out. I'm not sure exactly what direction we're going to be moving from here on. But at the very least, I'm glad we got to talk, guys. So, either way, we're going to be moving on for more videos to come in the future. I'm gonna figure it out by then, so either way, don't worry about it. Thank you guys so much for sharing everything here, and remember to go back and read everybody else's comments, talk to them, and let them know that you're there to listen to them too. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.